discussion, which is focusing on social media as a tool for content promotion and monetizing, happens to be Mr. Morgan Mbulo, who I will now hand over the mic to as we begin the program. I call upon you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome to this session. I would like to call the people that are going to be on the panel for this session. We would like to call Mr. Makumba. Mr. Makumba, I believe he's outside. Mr. Harley, Mr. Mwape. Allow me to call Mr. Stanley, Mr. Stanch. Mr. Stanch. Mr. Makumba, please come forward. Becky Ngoma. Mr. Emmanuel Mwape. We need one more chair. Okay, I think everybody's here. So thank you very much, panelists. We are having this session on social media as a tool for content creation or promotion and monetizing. So to discuss this, I think we have a beautiful panel here with people full of knowledge. I hope our interaction will give us more insights on this issue. So I would like to start with, I think I'll start with Mr. Stanch. Mr. Stanch, do we have policies, government policies that really looks into the social media as a tool for content monetization, mostly monetization?
Hi, everyone. I don't know if government has, but I'll speak for where we are. So whoever speaks about, whoever is asked about government has to be a government person. I'm not. So I'll speak. In Zambia, we don't have anything related to social media being used as a tool for content promotion, except we have, I think Zambia has grown. We have seen a lot of social media influencers, a lot of them, and they're doing very fine. But for us filmmakers using social media as content, I think it hasn't been too well, because when we talk about using social media and content monetization, it's something that, that's why I would have loved if we had someone from Zikta, because this is their department. We've tried to engage Zikta actually, where we've told them, because do you know that when you are dealing with social media, Zambian views are not monetized. This is the biggest challenge. So you're going to have 1 million views. If your 1 million views were Zambians, it amounts to 0. But if your 1 million views are people that are from other territories, or even just from Kenya or Nigeria, for as long as you have viewers that are from elsewhere but not in Zambia, it's going to amount to money. I will speak from experience. I have a YouTube channel with over 78,000 subscribers. All original content, no copyright. My channel was monetized 2 years ago. I have content that has had over 7-8 million views on my channel. When you look at the way the algorithm is, you're going to realize you're only making money from a few views that are coming from outside and not from Zambia. This is the one thing we tried to even engage the people that were going around during the policy thing. But I feel we talk to people that don't even understand what monetization is. So it's something that can only be handled by us as creatives, come up with a collective voice, then engage maybe Zikta and find a way, because it's just a matter of them and Google having this conversation, and they unlock the country, nothing else.
Okay, so that brings me to something important. How can one monetize? Because if we need to go to Zikta, I think people first of all need to understand how can one monetize our films through social media.
My name is Emmanuel. My name is Emmanuel Mwape. I would have to introduce myself. How can one monetize? First, the best example I'll give is it's YouTube. In order for you to monetize your YouTube channel, you need to have a watch time of 48 hours, meaning your content, at least somebody must have watched it for 4,000 hours. So people must have watched your content for 4,000 hours, and you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers to your channel. So that's how it is. So in order for you to monetize your content, you also need to have Google AdSense for YouTube. You need to have a Google AdSense account, meaning that Google is the one that is going to pay the money into your account. So now the tricky part is for Zambia is not listed on the countries that you can monetize your YouTube channel on. So meaning what has been happening now is that if you want to do it the straight way, you not get your channel monetized. But the best way you can do it, you have to engage somebody who is in a country where YouTube has authorized them to be part of the monetizers. Like what we did for the YouTube channel that I manage for the singers is that because YouTube is supposed to send you a postal mail. They have to send it and deliver it to you to your address. So what we did is that we used eBay. So eBay is a courier. They bring goods to Zambia. So instead we used the courier for eBay to get the postal code. You get it. So this is one of the ways that people are using to do that. But the problem now is that if I'm going to monetize a channel that is in Zambia, then I do this the backward way, is that still the money that I'm going to get from that the channel that I've monetized will be so little because it's dependent on the country. For example, if you are in Zambia, one view maybe in Zambia it's let's say 1 cent. But if somebody who is in US might be 5 cents, so you get the difference. That's where the problem is. There is a way you can monetize your content, but you have to do it in a crooked way, which is wrong. Yes.
So to help us understand, you're getting that.
Yeah. Oh. And then also it's a type of content creation as well. Like I agree with Emmanuel about when you set up your account in Zambia, it doesn't work like you can't monetize. So a lot of I don't monetize on social media, but I know a lot of social social media content creators that monetize, and I feel like those people should have been on this panel. The Ivanka Biancas, all the people that we chase on social media, the Mtalemwanzas, all the noisemakers, the Milis, they are the actual content creators on social media that are actually monetizing. So you've got to set up, like Emmanuel has said, you've got to set up your account from a country that has a different rate, exactly. And that's what a lot of these social media makers have done. I never understood it at the beginning until somebody explained, like, no, you don't set up your account from here. You need to set it up from a different country. And then it also goes to also the type of content that you put. And sometimes the content, the material might just appeal to a certain region and does not appeal to other regions. I'll look at one influencer who creates content that is, or I'll look at a genre of content that I've seen does well on social media as content creation. It's cooking. Yeah, sort of like people who do cooking shows, but they actually attach the cooking to their personality. And Cora Obidi is one of those people that are really successful in monetizing using content. But then also it came in with lifestyle, which is a family and everything, where her entire family was involved in social media. And apparently the content that is being created, like from the Zambian aspect of social media content creation, it's literally stripping each other, beef and everything, and that's something that appeals to us as Zambians. I don't think anybody's interested in Mtale Mwanza and Ivanka Bianca fighting somebody from the US or somebody from Ireland or somebody from Germany. This thing just appeals to us. Okay, so it's also understanding what kind of content do you want to create, and also such content also it has a very short lifespan. Sustainability is very difficult. So when you're creating content, you've got to look at content that has a long lifespan where you can build. You can build a lot of things along it. Okay, like I follow Emmanuel's YouTube channel. Music, it's a very broad. It's a very broad genre to create content from. Like, he's got like these young ladies that he promotes. He puts their music there, but it can't stop from there. He can put a music show. He can come and pick up like music that has music that is no longer stylish, and just to remind us of the music from other. monetization, content monetization,
and just as you start,
and
Becky,
sector linkages.
just as you start, we
Yeah.
would like also to know how you actually use social media to actually package and promote your content.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me just finish the thought.
You can
I
put it
started.
along
Is,
because I'm saying
the
a
one
lot of
thing.
questions are
The
being
one thing
answered
that
now.
we don't realize as content creators is that there are two people you need to have in mind. Number one is your viewer. Number two is the guy with the money who wants the attention of your viewer. And the link between the two worlds is your content. But if your content is fighting with people, insulting people, the guy with the money does not want to associate with that. There is no brand that is going to come to you and want to associate with you if your content is insulting people, if your content is beefing with people, if your content, and that's where the problem with Zambian social media content creators is. Martina, you need to workshop these people in Sotambe next year. Yeah. So now coming to myself using social media for marketing, the number one niche for me is creation of a brand. You need to create a brand for yourself, and you need to be consistent with that brand. And that brand is associated to the content that you are promoting. I've been Becky Ngoma on social media on every platform since I started my career. I've never been Becky, Vanatando, blah, blah, blah. Like, when you search for me, you will find my names, and I've always been known as Becky Ngoma. And even when you Google me, you will find all the material, or all the works that I've done. They come under the same name. And like I've seen, like there's a filmmakers that are always like, you're changing your account, you're changing your names on your account. There's no consistency. People, like I've had like people sending me a friend request, it's Zulu, blah, blah. And I'm just like, who's this person? And they're like, oh no, it's me, it's what? No, consistency. You've got, the moment you're on social media, you're promoting your things, there's going to be 20 people that are following your content. There are 20 people that are following what you're marketing. And then the next time I'm talking to Emmanuel about, oh my God, there's this great filmmaker, Harley. He does this content. And then Emmanuel wants to look for Harley. The name Harley is not there on social media. And then there's this fondness also of like closing social media accounts where you are off season, you close the account, and then people can't find you anymore. And then also what you post, the content you post on your social media has to be uniformed. You can't be, today I'm promoting Zuba, oh, watch the next episode of Zuba, watch the next episode of Fever, watch the next episode of what, and then after those posts, what's the next thing that is happening? I'm talking about things that have absolutely nothing to do with the brand that I'm trying to promote. And like, there's so much things that I want to share on social media. I've even had other people like ask me, Becky, can you share this for me? I'll never share it on my wall as long as it's not associated to the things that I am publishing out there to social media that I want to be known for. And anybody who knows the name Becky Ngoma, they associate me with film. They associate me with certain things within, certain services within the film sector. Consistency. So when you're posting like different things, is you disconnect from your followers. You disconnect from your followers. There are people that I used to follow because they were posting certain things, and then the moment they are no longer posting the things that interested me to follow them, I unfollow. I unfollow because there is nothing that can associate the two of us anymore. You've stopped doing the things that made me want to follow you. It's very important. So number one is create a brand. Be very consistent with your brand. Do not change your name. Okay? Number two, audience engagement. How you engage with your social media. How you engage with your social media followers matters. It matters a lot. Sometimes we get inboxes, we have people who are entitled, who think you owe them anything, but how you answer them and how you engage with them matters. Okay? It matters how you engage with your audience. Like what I say is that the relationship between you as a marketer, as a promoter with your audience, it's the relationship of marriage. Okay? You just don't wake up today just because your wife said something you don't like, and then the next thing you're coming to save her divorce papers. No, it's a very intricate relationship because social media, what you call your fans are also your haters. That's how dynamic this relationship is on social media. Yeah? Your fans are your haters. It's just that they have the same feeling with you. It's either they vibrate the left way or they vibrate the right way. And they don't have, and the other thing that I always say is, when you're engaging with your fans, is realize that they're not engaging with you as a person. They're engaging with your office. Becky Ngoma is an office. So even when a person is insulting me on social media, and they're saying this and everything, I don't take it personal. That's not me you're insulting. It's my works that you're insulting. So I'm going to engage you at a brand level, not at a personal level, because I understand that fans are your haters as well as your fans. So it depends which side they vibrate. They can go negative or they can go positive, but either way, they are still following you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. So, Mr. Lee, you want to come in?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify. I think those who were there yesterday, what Becky has just mentioned, I talked about a bit of it, especially when it comes to branding. How do you brand yourself? That's very important.
Especially for social media.
Especially for social media, because this is how you're going to sell. This is how you're going to promote yourself. This is how you're going to promote your products. So, what is the brand connected to you? Who are you? What are you? So, for example, my name is this, okay, and this is what I do. I've seen a lot of our actors here in our country. They are on this show, so they get the character name and the show name. They are together. It's okay. You are telling the people to say, this is me in that show. But when it comes to consistency, again, it will backfire, or it will give you a negative impact when you go to another set. Because personally, I watch Zambian content, Zambian shows, because you're going to find the same person in 5 shows. Okay? So are you going to have 5 accounts? Because you are using the end of the show with the character. So are you going to have 5 names and characters on social media? You see? So it's going to be a bit crazy. Today you send me Mwaku Ubuntu. Then the next thing you are in Makofi as Peter. Then you say Peter Makofi. Then the other time you are in Tentamanga. Then you are George Tentamanga. So now, how am I going to know who is George Tentamanga? You see what I mean? But if you give yourself a certain identity, I'll give an example of myself. The dress code. I have a certain dress code that I use to identify me. It's either have a headsock or a straight cap. When I was hired out of the country, the person calling me was like, am I talking to the guy with headsock one side? I'm like, yes, that's me. I was like, when going, had to put on a headsock the way I always put it on. When they came to pick me up, I could see them from afar pointing at me. He's there. That's him. Why? There's that identification. But what is it that you put yourself when you go on social media? What is it that you put yourself to brand yourself in a certain way? Is it the name? It's like the same as products. When you're advertising all these products, I don't want to mention any product, but there's something which they talk about. It's either maybe the test, maybe the outlook, maybe there's just something which you have to relate to. That's why us in the marketing industry or commercial, every time there's a product, there's a tagline that comes with the product. So when you hear, psh, you know it's this product. They are not going to tell you, no, this is the name of the product. No, just because you hear there's that tagline, already you know the product. Okay, what tagline do you put to yourself as a media person? What is it that you use on social media? I was using my name on my other account before it was hacked. Then I've been trying to use the same, but I had a lot of problems. What did I do? I gave myself, because I've branded myself in a certain way. So I was like, okay, let me call myself this way. In no time, everybody started calling me that name. And whenever they hear that, they know they're talking about Lee. All right? Because this is how you brand yourself. This is how you use social media. Because you want to sell yourself out there. You want to promote your stuff. What we put on social media is very important. I'm a filmmaker. What do I have to put on social media? Gossips? No. You're going to find a lot of filmmakers or people in the art business. You're going to see things that they share. Or Chite and Chite were fighting, they were quarreling. That's the thing that you're going to find them sharing, trying to be creative for no reason. That's nonsense.
So you take away from there is branding yourself.
Yeah, branding yourself, because the brand itself as a filmmaker or film enthusiast, but you have taken it away. You are sharing something which is not connected to who you are as an artist.
So talking of branding yourself or your content for social media, I think I would like to bring in Mr. Makumba on the aspect of, I would have loved to bring him in terms of what government is doing, but since he's not from IBA, I would want maybe to bring the intellectual aspect, because I think content creation involves creating something. So I don't know what's your take on that one, the content that is going on social media for content creators.
Yeah, well, you have asked me a question and then taken it away. I'm not sure which one
I think you should answer the question.
Yeah. Social media also, just to touch on the IP side, social media also can be used as a tool to protect your product. But when you go to social media to present the stuff that you've done, make it a skeleton, just so that the idea can be understood and then be assigned to you. There you can give the title, you probably can give even a poster, so that then you have a reference point that this is mine. It's why people, when they have a stolen idea, they quickly publish, because they want reference. But for our country and the topic we are dealing with, the monetizing, I would suggest, my comment would be to suggest now to NAMA that we make a communique through our PS now, so that we can have our country listed, so we can stop having this situation of we have so many numbers and then their views are not monetized, unless the people are in countries where that is done, we make money from them. But for now, I think that we can still make some money depending on the consistency of what we are producing. Maybe it's a program you want to do and you want to be taking it online, maybe Facebook. Package it well, identify a funder, go to them, so that they now begin to advertise on your show. While you are not getting the monetization we're talking about by Mwape here and the rest of the panelists who understand it well and have done something about it, we can still make money from our own local companies. I saw there was one production by David Kazadi in our country, and it was heavily sponsored, and all of us were watching it. Do you remember Divorce Club? Yeah. Yes. It was making money right here in Zambia. So there is a way that we can make money off the social media without going the route of the monetization process our colleagues have done. So from there, let's do a communique to our peers that, look, fight for us so that we can be included. So we don't leave this table by just talking about it. Sometimes we have a lot of brilliant ideas as artists, but then we forget that we must now take action so we can get a benefit in future. In terms of promoting our works, I think this one is clear for everyone. We know that social media is the cheapest tool to send your stuff so people can know about it. they can begin to anticipate, you can gather numbers. So the promotion aspect of it, I think we are doing quite well about that. That's my comment. My plea would be that since you are even chairing this as Vice President of NAMA, let's get a communique done to government that we need our country to be recognized.
Actually, that's the takeaway we're going to have. Mr. Mwape,
Okay,
let's talk about... okay.
Maybe I think I want to bring it back home. The question is, how do you use social media to promote your content? So in this context says, how do you use social media to promote your film?
Yes.
Because the promotion of your content has also a bigger role in terms of distribution. I've encountered a situation where the distributor says, do you have a Facebook account or any social media platform? We need to check maybe the number of followers that your film has gathered. So how do I use social media as social media to promote my films? So here we are shooting a film. We are doing a film. The film that we are doing, they have talked about, Becky talked about consistency. They talked about branding, and he has also talked about social media being one of the cheapest models where we can take the information out there. So here I am doing a film. My film is already let me say it's in maybe production stage. So how do you use social media as a filmmaker for your film? So meaning by the time I start my production, maybe in production stage, I need to create a Facebook account. That's what others are doing out there. I create a Facebook account. Okay, the title of my film is Silver Lining. That's the title of the film that I want to do. So the moment I create a Facebook page, I already have a particular audience that has already started following my film. So by the time I am in production, I begin to release photos of behind the scenes. So how I use social media is that I share the behind the scene content to the audience. I share pictures, I share videos from the behind the scenes. From that moment, I've begun to promote my content using social media. So meaning by the time I'm done with the production, now I'm about to release my film. I'm going to use social media to promote my trailer, the trailer of the film, because what has been happening of late here in Zambia, most of the films that I've sold, I've also sold from social media, have been sold from social media. Before I even go to the premiere, I'm able to say that ukuchiza pampa uko. For my foreigners, when I say Zapamba, this side it will be full of a lot of people. So, and again, how do I use social media? I begin to engage brand influencers. I know to say, okay, if Bianca says about my film that I'm going to watch this film, or Makitu says I am going to watch this film by this guy, then meaning that I'm able to gather numbers. So by the time I do the premiere of my film, I already have a certain following, and because I've been posting consistently about my film on social media, what it means is that even somebody who is not in Zambia, if they hear the title says Silver Lining, somebody goes on Google and says Silver Lining, some information will pop up because I've been consistent on social media. So I use social media to promote my film, and also once you promote your film consistently on social media, if your film is good, it has a good quality, you stand a higher chance of having your film to be distributed. Like the best example I would give, Can They See Us, the film that got on Netflix for Zambia. So what they did is that during the premiere, they used the president as the brand influencer for that film, because he came to the premiere of that film, and because the president was there, so meaning even the press had a lot of articles about the film. So if by the time they are giving a film to the distributor, if a distributor just types to say on Google, say, Can They See Us film, then there'll be a lot of what? There'll be a lot of pop-ups. So, and another way how now you can use social media as a filmmaker. For example, we have Sotambe Film Festival. Some filmmakers had notification to say your film has been selected for the Sotambe Film Festivals. You need to share that information with social media, because once you share that information with social media, is that you are getting into a diverse audience. Then people will begin to know about your film. So like, I and my friends, we have a habit of, if we get any festival nomination or selection, we post it on social media. You get it? Once when you post it on social media, people begin to trust your product. They begin to say, okay, this film is doing well, because we are trying to create a certain impression. No matter how good your film is, if you have not created a certain impression on social media, it's going to be hard for you to sell, because the distributor will say, we need numbers. Who is commenting about a film? Who has written an article about your film? I thought of just bringing that point.
The promotion aspect of it. Actually, it's very, very important, because there are people that have actually sold their shows or have their shows distributed from social media. They go to Netflix. There are examples that we have here. One of the examples you gave, Becky, is Shimombi. Started from social media, and it was easy for him to actually have his show commissioned. So it's important, actually. So from the going away from the promotion aspect of it, I think let's talk about monetization. Mr. Stanch, what are payment models in monetization of content?
With monetization, I have had a lot of questions, for example, from other people asking to say, how much does Google pay 1,000 views? Obviously, even amongst us, there are so many people that wonder to say, how much does Google pay 1 million views? There's no answer to that. Why? Because you can have 1 million views, but not every person watched your content from beginning to the end. Some viewers will just watch the first 15 seconds. Others will watch the entire thing. Others will watch, and then understand. First, let me say this. When we are making anything for social media, just the same way we do film, the sale for that product has to start in development. This product I am making, what is it going to be for social? Am I creating for social media? If yes, who watches social media? Who are the what's the age group? Who are the majority consumers of such content? So even the things you put in that will be specific, such that when you upload your content, you want to get this viewer to watch this content from beginning to the end. Because certain adverts, for as long as your content is below 15 minutes, you are not going to have these middle ads coming up. You see sometimes when you're watching anything on social media or YouTube, then there's an advert that comes in between. You need to skip certain adverts. You can't even skip them. You can't have those ads if your content is 3 minutes. You see that? So the person who has this content, if Harley has this content that has over 5 minutes and it has mid breaks, and I have a 3 minutes content on social media, I am not going to have to make the same money from 1 million views as him. He has other advertisers in between. I only have pop-up ads and the ads at the beginning. So there is no answer to how much. But the truth of the matter is, for as long as all your viewers are from Zambia, you will have zero money.
I think we wanted to look at the model, the payment model, not the how much.
So, yeah, the payment model, the person that pays for social media, for your YouTube, is not YouTube. YouTube is a product of Google. Okay, so what happens is you get into this YouTube partnership, for example. If I can just use YouTube for the payment model. So you're going to have this YouTube partnership, meaning you are getting into a contract with Google AdSense. Because after the YouTube partnership, you can now have this Google AdSense account. So every money that comes, because even on Google AdSense, you need to get your URL from YouTube or from your social media, then update your Google AdSense. So every money comes from there. After you reach a certain threshold, that's when they are going to give you a provision for you to even update your withdraw method. Before you can reach a certain threshold, you can't even put your banking details there because you are not eligible to withdraw.
Okay. At this point, I think I would like to invite questions from the from the audience, if you have any specific person you would like to ask, or if you would want to just put it general. Okay, I can see Mr. Chikombe here.
Okay. My name is Chikombe Mlenga. I just want to ask about something there. Yeah, about what you have said, that you have to register from other countries for you to get the payments from social media and others to monetize. And then there are some situations that happens whereby you don't have views. You make up an advert, and then there are few likes and views. But more especially in Zambia, even your relatives are asking you, when is Kopala Comet Festival? I saw it on Facebook. What happens? You're expecting to have a number of views, but again, they get the advert. They even show up to the show. Is it because of where you started it from, or I don't know whether you're getting it? The other, or you didn't get the question?
An advert gets, your advert gets 0 views.
Yes.
But somehow, people were able
To see your content.
But the engines don't actually
Sure.
recognize those views.
Then people didn't come because of the advert, because nobody saw it.
Yes.
Or maybe your mouth says,
But you receive the calls like, we saw it, you posted on Facebook, we are coming.
The process of how to... Do we have a similar question, so that maybe we can have 3 questions, then they can answer, so that we don't have just one question? Your question is different from this one?
Yeah, the other question is with the IP, on social media. I'll give an example of a post whereby someone says, if you can manage to keep 100 kwacha, Mbulo, you can even become a witch. And then you see different posts with different views, but there is someone who created that. Do we have anywhere where you can defend your IP in terms of content? Because it also happens like to us comedians, whereby you need to use social media. You post up a content, but your page is doesn't have a number of viewers, but you see some other comedians using the same content again. How can you fight your rights in terms of IP?
are you saying somebody comes to your page, you posted content?
Yes.
Somebody comes and gets your content,
Yes.
and then they go to repost your content.
Sure.
Okay, I think let me do this. With social media.
Mr. Stanch, before you answer, I know it's coming to you. You are going to start. Just give the last question.
Okay, I just wanted, my name is Benson. I just wanted to find out from Mr. D, whereby there is this project I'm on. I have a page as Benson, and they want me to put Benson Sotambe at the end. And then it's on the contract. And my page is Benson. But the contract says I have to put Benson Sotambe. What am I supposed to do?
Okay. You can start with Mr. Stanch, you can start.
So I was saying, with social media, the way they handle it, I know he will answer, but let me speak from experience when it comes to social media. So for social media, when you upload anything that is already been uploaded, when you upload anything that's already been uploaded by another person, they will give you a copyright strike. Okay? So for copyright strikes, the issue is, if your channel is not monetized, I cannot get a copyright strike if I copy your post. Okay? You are not their partner. Their interest is to protect my interest. You see that? So I'll give you a very practical example. Look at music. So if she has a song, she releases a music video, then I get the same, download the same music video from her YouTube channel and re-upload. I'm going to have a copyright strike. But the first thing that will come will be, her channel will be notified that somebody has re-uploaded. If she's monetized, my content will not be monetized. But people that are showing, if she is monetized, and I am also monetized, and I choose not to, she doesn't request for a, she doesn't request for a takedown. They call it a takedown, where YouTube has to delete that video from my channel. So she can actually just report okay, or respond to that notification, and then all the money, every single coin that will be made from that video will not be going to my account, it will be going to her account. It's automatic. There are so many situations where us as filmmakers, majority of us have been culprits of this thing, and others will tomorrow be culprits, where a lot of us filmmakers are busy doing all these nice movies, okay? But our music is not original sound. When you're doing your music, your sound design, your background, your ambient sound, everything you're just getting from YouTube, from MusicBed, from what and what. So the moment you just upload that video or that movie anywhere, on any streaming platform, for as long as it involves monetization, money will start going, will be shared to the original creators. They don't care about your visual. They will only care about the sound at that particular moment. So let us, it's also an advantage where this time let us try by all means, anything that we are creating, let us create original sound. Because imagine, there was a time we were just playing around. We did a 4-minute short film 2 years ago. Suddenly, surprisingly, today it has over 8 million views. It has copyright music. I have never made a single dime from that. Imagine my entire lifetime. I'm going to end up losing everything. There's no way I can make money out of that.
Okay, so quickly, I think Mr. Mwape will answer the other question. We have 7 minutes to go, so we really need to wind up.
I want to answer the question from the gentleman where he asked about the 0 views. So, so what happens is that me as an individual, I'm uploading content on YouTube. For example, I'm uploading content that is 5 minutes. So in that 5 minutes, what will happen is that also there will be adverts that will be generated towards that content, for example. So what happens is that somebody else somewhere is watching that video, where they are watching that video. But because they are watching that video and there is an advert on that video, you see where they say next or what? So once you start watching that video and an advert pops up and somebody does next, it automatically tells YouTube to say that this person has not watched the advert, because that content is monetized, meaning you will not get any money from that because somebody has done next to your content. Then to come back to your question, which is the 0 views, but somebody is telling you to say that they have actually watched your video, meaning they have not exceeded the watch time of that video. So for example, if you post a 5-minute video, if you post a 5-minute video, in order for YouTube to count it as a view, you need to watch at least half of it. So if that person didn't watch half of it, he watched maybe 30 seconds at the beginning, then at the middle and towards the end, they will not count that as a view. And another thing that happens is that, for example, me as an individual, I watch a video multiple times. Maybe during the day, I watch a film, I watch it once. I'm expecting, okay, I watch it 10 times, for example. I'm using my YouTube channel, for example. I'm using Emmanuel. I watch your video 10 times using the same my YouTube channel. Those views will not be counted as 10 because I've used one account, unless if I was to watch it on another day. You get the idea? So that's what actually happens. And again, it also depends with the person that uploaded. When you're uploading your video, you also need to tell YouTube what you want to count as a view, for example. I think maybe I've answered this question. I don't know.
Okay. Do we have another? Oh, okay.
Yeah, for Ben. Okay. So in marketing, there are certain things that we need to look at. There's a brand to a product, and there's a product and a product. So if Benson is a product, so Tambe is a product, there's a conflict of interest. Because what are you trying to promote? Is it this product or that product? But if this is a brand to this product, then that's okay. Because you say, okay, this is a soft drink with this name. You see what I mean? But if this is a soft drink and this is a soft drink and this is another soft drink, they can't have the same name, or maybe just on the same thing. So that's conflict of interest. So you must understand yourselves to say, no, this is a product. I cannot add another product to my product. Unless if I want to be a brand ambassador to that product, then you have to agree on how you're going to sign the MOU. Is that
Is that understood,
thanks.
Mr. Ben? Okay.
And just to add it, like when you're being casted, when you're handling your contract as an actor, and they want to, because your brand is something that is personal, it's your business, it's something that you have built on your own. It has nothing to do with me casting you on my show. And then I come to lay a claim on your brand just because you're on my show. No, I'm engaging you as an actor based on your talent, number one. But if I want Benson to be associated to my show, then there's a second engagement that I'm doing. Now I'm engaging you as a product owner who is engaging with a brand. I've done this like on what's this Fever TV show with Dope G, who was coming as an actor as well as a brand, and he had two contracts. We had a contract with him as an actor, and then we had another contract with him as Dope G, as a brand, and associating his brand because he had numbers and I wanted to ride on those numbers. Yeah, so it's very unfair, like when a producer is telling you, no, you need to add this to your brand. No. You tell them you hired me as an actor, but Benson is a brand. So if you're calling me as Benson, we need to sit on a table and discuss business. How are we engaging as business partners? I bring a product, you bring a product, and how much are you paying me for bringing my brand? Because your brand is not just Benson, your brand is eyeballs. It's eyeballs, okay? So if you've got a 50 million viewership, you are bringing 50 million eyeballs to my show. And what is bringing those eyeballs is not your acting talent. It's your brand. That's the reason why you find actors that are popular and have heavy numbers. They'll get more money, even if you and I are actually playing the same category of roles. Like we can be support roles, but me as a brand playing a support role and you as a nobody playing a support role will get different fees because I'm bringing something to the table. I'm bringing eyeballs to the table. I'm bringing a brand to the table. And people might actually just come to the show because they want to watch the show. And I've used this in my casting dynamics, riding on numbers and casting people strategically because I want to put their numbers to make my show work. And a person should be paid for that.
Can I just say something to that, being a producer and casting people? I love it the way you put it, Becky. I shared some stuff yesterday about why sometimes when we bring people into a production, some get paid more than the others. This is exactly the reason why. Now, as an artist, you can have a big name in the country, here in Zambia, and the footage will be viewed mostly by Zambians. But you have no social media following. So you only have a big name, maybe in your compound, if I put it that way. So I know I wanted it to sound crude so you can follow. You are big, you've been in the industry for some time, but you have not cultivated the social media space. So when we go to your Facebook page, we find you only
on film business classes. There is something when it comes to numbers, because Becky did well to bring up the issue of numbers, because social media and film is all about numbers. So here's the one thing. You might be a very brilliant actor, okay? But your brilliance in acting can never be my selling point. It can never be my selling point. I am going to get him, even if he's a non-actor, but if he has 1 million views, for example, I will need now you, who is a brilliant actor, to play lead and him supporting. I will spend as much time as I need. Who has watched Extraction? Why was Idris there?
Because his role was...
Are you realizing the point? He was practically useless in there except the brand. Yes. 2 scenes in the entire Extraction. 2 scenes. And he was probably paid. You see that? Yeah. So, your brilliance in acting is not going to be a selling point. It needs a supporting lead. Who has the numbers? Because we've all watched Extraction, but we don't realize why Idris is on. And he only has a few lines when he went to contract the guy, and when this guy came out of prison, when they went to meet in the bush and said, what if I'm to do this? This is the good example of numbers. You see, I remember Paul sometime posted to say whoever made the trailer for what, maybe he has even forgotten. No, whoever made the trailer for, there's a certain movie, said he sold us beans. I think so there are certain elements that they call commercial elements. Okay? So today, other people in other countries are getting TikTokers to play characters in certain movies. None of us was born an actor. Some of us cannot even be in front of a screen. But get certain people that you know because of the numbers. Do not give them things. Let them just play a scene with a few lines. That is going to be your selling point, because already that guy will be forced to share. His friends will be forced to share. But when people watch the movie, they realize that guy was only Karate Kid.
They will realize it's beans.
And just a tip to producers and also to actors in how you negotiate your contracts, okay? This is the tiering of how you create the tier of how you spread out the money in a contract. The number one is called a round table, okay? So you've got a budget. Lead, so I'll say my leads are getting 5,000 kwacha. Supports are getting 2,000 kwacha. And then the extras, like the extra supports, the supports are getting like 1,000. Okay, that is across the table. And then from across the table, we come to the second tier. The second tier, I say, the second tier is the weighing of talent. Okay, so I've got 5 leads. I've got 5 leads. All of you are entitled to 5,000 kwacha because of the workload and also by virtue that you've gotten that job. And then the second tier now, I'm looking at quality of talent. The quality of talent that you're bringing into the production. If you're a beginner, if you're a professional actor, and I know once you go on set, you're not going to give me problems of taking 50 takes, of taking 20 takes before I make it work. And I know that your talent is valuable, you rise up by another 5,000. That puts you on a 10,000 rack. And whereas Emmanuel is coming as a beginner, you're a beginner, your talent is not that polished, you're not getting that 5,000, you are still on your 5,000 job. You are not scaling up. And then from there, I'm looking now at the commercial value. We've moved from the product value, the talent value, we go to the commercial value. The commercial value now, I'm looking at the marketing. How am I going to get eyeballs on my show or eyeballs on my production? And then I'll say, okay, Emmanuel, even if talent is not there, he didn't scale up by the 5,000 kwacha. The scale up for eyeballs is 7,000 kwacha. And I'm saying anybody who's got a following of 10,000 on social media, and he's got a huge fan base, and he's got influence. So for the influencers, for those people that are bringing eyeballs, I'm scaling up at 7,000. So Emmanuel moves from the 5,000 kwacha, even if he didn't have the talent to scale up in that 5,000 kwacha, he goes on 12,000 kwacha because of the eyeballs, which Morgan Ice didn't have. He only gained 5,000 kwacha from the talent. And then you scale it up like that, because I've had it where oh, we are playing the same role, how come they're getting more money? And I'm able to explain that to actors, and there's no war. And I'll tell them, you're getting this because of this one is bringing this and this and this. And this is how we rate the pay.
Thank you very much.
Just a short question. These social media socialites creating or getting these viewers organically, or they buy followers?
Some do buy followers, but when you see the ones that you can actually tell followers that are organic and followers that are bought. It's about engagement. So for me, maybe I'm lucky. It's easy for me to track these things because most of my content is TV. And TV, unlike feature films, where feature films are flings, like a one-night stand, whereas on TV, I'm dealing with marriage. It's a relationship that is ongoing. So in a relationship that is ongoing, you can't manage to keep buying people. And there are ways in which I see, in which I build my promotions. And I'm able to see how Emmanuel, as my lead, is engaging with the audience. And it will show you like these are organic interactions, and you will see that these numbers are coming. And then the numbers will also tally to the television. It won't just be on social media where you're seeing people talking about a show on social media, but the numbers don't tally with the viewership on the actual show.
Thank you very much. It's been a great time. I think we are, Mr. Stanch, we are closing. We've really overrun.
The people we hire that can't act. It's a dynamic of... okay, so I don't know how other producers work. The science of how I hire people that can't act is that I'll never give you a role that has... because I do casting as well. So in casting, you understand how casting dynamics work. Is I'll never give you like each character that I have in Wasisa in the character Bible of all the characters in the show. I always know the dynamics of what each character is going to bring. And I know what the weaknesses and the strengths of each actor is going to bring. And if I know that I'm only bringing you for the numbers, I'll never give you a character that has dynamics of where you go highs, lows, and where you've got to bring out strong elements that are supposed to engage the viewers. I'll never give you such a role. And I've done it. I've had, who's this, Mwape on my show, where she featured. And I actually, what I do is actually I create roles that are cameo-ish in nature. Like I'll actually take your persona and actually strip your persona and put it in the show. You are literally coming to act yourself, but you are really not a cameo. Yeah.
I think we're coming to the end. Thank you so much, panelists. I think we have very beautiful insights today. Takeaways, branding, number one, let's not change. You'd love to say something? Yeah. Okay. So much. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. So takeaways, brand yourself properly. Don't change every now and then. And please follow up. I think I'm going to follow up the issue of why we are not on the list as a country, Zambia, in terms of monetization with IBA. I think we'll get back to you on that one. So thank you so much, panelists. Anything else? Oh, and Zicta, yes, so that we can be there and start making money on our names, not using imported addresses. Now I know, obviously. I've got that Amazon stuff, so I'm going to register and start making money from there. So thank you so much, panelists. Thank you so much, beautiful audience. I hope we have learned one or two things. So let's keep creating and obviously take advantage of social media as a way of branding and promoting our content. Thank you so much. Thank you.
A round of applause for the panelist and the moderator. A big hand of applause, by the way. Please, let's clap for them. So for those that are watching us in Botswana, Namibia, we are streaming live, by the way. So get to interact with us via our social media platform. And do send us your comment and contribution. Also, we're going to have a 5 minutes information digestion break. It doesn't exist, by the way. I just created that. Yes, we're going to have that 5 minutes, and then we'll be back, and then we'll just go into our next item on our business agenda, which will be the new age production techniques. This is quite interesting, I think, from the word itself. So please enjoy your 5 minutes information digestion break, and on the other side, we interact more. Thank you so much.